Project Workbench.
Hi, I'm Courtney Peldon, and I am playing the lesbian Andorian Shri, and I am getting all blue right now with my lovely wig cap on.
You look beautiful.
So neat.
I mean, yeah, what a process, but dang, this is gorgeous.
So Lisa, how close to done? Just so I know
We are 2 minutes from done.
Great.
Just cleaning up hairs that I've just
Are we gonna get her water away?
styled.
It's just gonna be like cat eye.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Sorry, bro.
Okay, on set. Well, I got very, very blue and very, very booby, and then we just found out who the bad guy is, and Walter's character, Chekhov, just found out, so he's very upset right now. Earlier, I negotiated a better deal for myself as his new hacker, and it's been a very adventurous day.
And was this the first time you've done a scene with Walter?
No, my first scene with Walter was actually in Inalienable a number of years ago, I think 6 years ago, I think, and it was a movie with Richard Hatch, and it was an alien movie, but not in the Star Trek universe. And Walter played an evil doctor, the evil head of a research lab, and Richard Hatch worked for him, and I worked for him, and he was experimenting and doing very, very bad things.
I've learned a little about you in your absence. Now I understand you are a manager and pretty much half the people on this production. You're an agent.
Yes, agent.
Sorry, I'm not
agent.
Okay, so you're an agent, and half the people who are working here you represent.
That is correct. It was it was a trade-off for them. Sky, who I've known also since Inalienable, asked me to play Shri. I think mostly because she was described as petite in the script. He was like, "Oh, I know a petite actress. This is perfect." And basically, to incentivize me to do it, I started offering up some of my clients for some of the other roles. So. We wound up, I wound up putting in, I think, 6 people. Yes, Chastity Ballesteros, who is playing Renora.
Do you mean Chastity McNasty?
Chastity McNasty. Chastity, she always says rhymes with nasty. I have actually seen it online. Chastity gets chasty, like when she's done sexy scenes before. Oh God. Kevin Fry Bowers, who is playing Jara Rook. I have Sean Young, who is playing Dr. Lucian. A sweetheart, and Eddie Furlong, who is playing Fixer, and Corin Nemec, who is playing Alvarez. Oh, so that's 5 including me. So 6.
Now, if you are currently an agent,
Yes.
I got that right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So now, but you have a background in acting, is that correct?
I do. I've been in the industry 31 years. I started when I was 1 back in New York, very toddlers and tiaras. But my mom wasn't great. Parents are not crazy. I say that, it makes them sound crazy. They were not crazy. I was crazy. I started when I was 1. Actually, my first movie was with Robert De Niro. It was a movie called Angel Heart, which my parents did not let me see until like 10 years later. So I was like, why can't I see it? They're like, no, not yet. I did. I was on Broadway. I did hundreds and hundreds of commercials. I did a lot. I started working when I was very young. Eventually, I got on a series that brought my whole family out here to LA, and from New York. And sorry, I've been up since 5 a.m. Like I can't remember what I've said.
Please,
already.
just give me a break,
Like an idiot. Oh my God. Anyway. I acted for years, a lot of primetime, network series, and back in the day where you could get primetime network series, and lots of movies and stuff. And then I did Inalienable, and I wanted to take a little break, and I kind of knew that even before I did that movie, but I did it because the script was so great, and I really wanted to work with Richard and Walter and Sky and everybody. And then I took a break and I went into casting. I wound up as a casting director for about 3.5 years. And I probably did about 50 or 60 shows in that time frame, mostly for the cable networks, MTV, VH1, Comedy Central. If you could take any group of people, stick them in a house and watch them kill each other, we cast it. Or if it was like some really freaky wedding series where it's like some bridezilla and like she hates her dress and she hates everybody and she's punching her husband, like we cast that. So I ran around the country doing that, and then I met my at the time my boyfriend, who is now my husband, and I didn't want to run around the country anymore, and I didn't want to constantly be in New York, and I didn't want to have hours that I couldn't control. So I met Lawrence, who owns the agency where I work, Aqua, and he wanted to kind of revamp his theatrical division, and because that was my entire background, I figured, well, I've hated every agent I'd ever had, so why not me? And I took over and have been there about 3 years. And this is, it's interesting because I've always wanted to sort of grow us into a packaging agency. But that's not so easy. You can't just blink and go, oh, poof, we're a packaging agency. You have to have a lot of money or ingenuity. So I think this was kind of ingenious, if I do say so myself.
Since that started 3 years ago, have you done any acting, or was this your
No.
first return to acting?
This was my first return since Inalienable, which was 6 years ago.
And how did you like the experience?
It was trippy, and I guess because I've been doing it since I was a toddler, you just don't think it's like a job. It's like what you're doing. You said, you interview people. You're not nervous. You're not thinking about it.
I'm so nervous.
You're so nervous, right? Well, good. Making you very nervous.
You're very intimidating.
It's like, I just didn't think about it anymore. You just, you just go in and do it like anything. And because I took that at 6 years off, last night I was like in bed going, am I gonna suck? Is it like riding a bike? But I can't even ride a bike, so how do I know? And then of course, you get on set, I'm like, I'm gonna forget every line, and everybody's gonna be laughing, they're like, why did we hire this girl? And then of course you get here, and it's all cool, and everybody's just making you feel really, sounds so fucking cheesy, but just like so welcome, and I'm so happy to be here, and it's such a cool character, so yeah.